Whether Kristi Noem is playing dress up or dental hygienist or badass warrior, what we do know is that her position is the Secretary of Homeland Security. So when asked a question about Homeland Security, this is her response.
I believe, Madam Secretary, that the Qataris in particular are behind a lot of the anti-Semitism you just described. Are they providing fuel that creates this fire?
You know, I'm not an expert in this area. I think that there's validity to what he has said.
Your job is to be an expert. This is your job. And if you're not an expert, surround yourself with experts instead of cosplay glam squad. This is so disturbing. I really do not feel that the Homeland is safe with this woman running around arresting people, but she doesn't know anything about terrorism because she's not an expert.
I don't think the American democracy is not safe. Kristi Noem is just a cast of characters, of incompetent cosplayers that Trump has appointed. And he's done all of this by design because the only qualification is that you worship him. And if you've shot a puppy, great. That helps our cause. If you're an untreated alcoholic, fantastic. Have at it. Compromised, convicted felon, no problem. You're welcome here. Big, womanizer, fantastic. Perfect. You're a great fit. Dipshit, Fox News entertainer, welcome. You're exactly who we need. This is all by design.
Honestly, I'm scared to admit that I think you're right. I mean, it terrifies me to think that we are opening ourselves up to some kind of terrorism or, definitely cyber terrorism. But I've never in my life had a moment where I did not feel secure in the United States. Like, overwhelmingly. And I'm overwhelmingly feeling that more and more.
And I think it's important to point out that a lot of Americans have felt exactly the way you described for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Black people,
yes.
Marginalized people, immigrants. And so now the white people, some are joining in what we have all done as a country to marginalized groups. A lot of people in the name of their faith, a lot of people just because they traffic in cruelty. But what you just described has finally hit the privileged white woman. And the wake-up call here is that none of us are free until all of us are free. And so while you're just having an epiphany, it's important that all of us are allies with the most marginalized sector of our citizenry at all times, because then nobody is safe. Nobody is free. And this was why you see Black women vote 90%, because they are at the bottom of the food chain and are constantly victimized. Their kids, they have a whole different set of rules they have to tell their kids when they walk around the block. Completely different set of rules when their kids are pulled over in a traffic stop. So this is a wake-up call for all Americans, but we have to realize that all of these things that you're experiencing now have been experienced by a lot of Americans for a very, very, very long time.
You're right. And that's a great reminder. Thank you. Because I really do. It gives me a whole new perspective. And it really is upsetting to think about that. I think you're 100% right. Okay, more just absolute ridiculousness from the Trump administration. Now they're going to expel all the foreign students from Harvard. And so we have Her Royal Highness, the dipshit of all dipshits, Kristi Noem, sends a letter to Harvard saying, put it up here, Kylie, she's going to revoke the student exchange program because they're not giving over what I would have to assume are confidential files that students have because of DEI. This is fascism. We want to tell you what to think, who can be in your student body, how you should behave, and what your thoughts should be. And what's so ridiculous about this is the financial. Nobody's like playing the tape through. Foreign students provide so much to the economy. Not only that, bright, they bring in a culture that is diversified, and we get the best of the best in the United States because it used to be aspirational to come to college here. But these dipshits, as we have said over and over, do not value education. They do not value expertise. And now they are trying to expel students because Trump is mad at Harvard. It is the most ridiculous, petulant child. And obviously a lawsuit's already been filed. Yes, I think the courts will block this order. But this is just unhinged fascism, full stop.
I think some of this stuff, like when they're doing this, because I'm glad they're doing it early. I'm glad that they're doing it early, and Harvard is setting the tone for other universities to get organized against this attack. And when this fascism stuff goes slowly, it's far more dangerous. And so Harvard this morning immediately files a response. Harvard's going to win in court. And I agree with you about it's utterly insane to turn away. I mean, if anybody's ever paid out-of-state tuition anywhere, but the Kristi Noem is a complete embarrassment to the United States of America. The United States of America is a complete embarrassment to the world right now.
Yes.
And you have all of these things are distractions to the fact that Elon Musk and Donald Trump have a pay-for-play scheme with tariffs and cryptocurrency and pump and dumps. And so they put all of these shiny objects out there that they know they're going to get their ass beat in court to distract from the thievery going on by those two.
So glad you brought that up because that segues us right in to the Trump corruption stew dinner last night. And so when asked about it, Karoline Leavitt, who sits there and lies and gaslights like I've never seen before, let's hear her response to the question.
You're welcome. Thanks for being here. Garrett, go ahead.
Karoline, you guys are very proud of your record on transparency. I have two transparency-related questions for you.
Sure.
On the president's dinner tonight, will the White House commit to making a list of the attendees public so people can see who's paying for that kind of access to the president?
Well, as you know, Garrett, this question has been raised with the president. I have also addressed the dinner tonight. The president is attending it in his personal time. It is not a White House dinner. It's not taking place here at the White House, but certainly I can raise that question and try to get you an answer for it.
Okay, and on the Qatari aircraft.
So perfect. He doesn't have immunity.
That's exactly why I brought that up. He does not have immunity for all the scamming, bribing, corruption that's going on because she said it. And as dumb as she is normally, I thought, if we ever get him out of office and if this authoritarian MAGA cult ever leaves, the prosecution in this dinner alone could fill up 5 federal courthouses.
I just have such little faith that the Supreme Court is not going to continue its schizophrenia regarding the Trump administration. They created this. Mitch McConnell created this. Corporate Democrats created this. So many people are responsible for this moment. And the Supreme Court wants to have it both ways. They want to do all of these evil conservative plays. They want to enrich corporations. They want to have a strong executive branch, yet they don't want to give up their own personal power. And so you have no moral clarity in the courts, very little yet ambiguous moral clarity within the Democratic Party, with the exception of some, AOC, Bernie, Chris Murphy, and others. But this is a moment for crystal clear moral clarity. And so I just don't have faith in the Supreme Court. I just don't.
Well, I can't argue with that because they have been, like you said, whiplash. But there were so many corrupt members at this dinner. Obviously, Trump's never going to tell us who it was, but we have one guest in particular under investigation by the Securities and Exchange Commission. Here we go. A crypto billionaire who feared arrest in the U.S. returns for dinner with Donald Trump. And did you know, magically, Justin Sun, whose digital currency network is popular with crypto industry's criminal underbelly, is a top investor in Trump's meme coin. And the investigation by the SEC into him, it's been paused. It's stopped. Shocking, I know.
There's never been a better time on the globe to be a white-collar criminal than right now. This is exactly what Trump has done. When you elect a convicted felon to be president of the United States. All these triple Trumpers that are fiscal conservatives and big Jesus people and like to look at the 401ks all day. You elected a criminal that does corrupt, nefarious shit. And he surrounds himself with criminals that do corrupt, nefarious shit to the detriment of all of us.
You're exactly right on that. I mean, it is corruption and criminality from the top down. He is the lead criminal and definitely white collar.
The American public sent a message to criminals globally and to countries globally. We are now a country that does not value the rule of law. We value people skirting the system and breaking the law, and we will let anybody off the hook if they come and bribe our president.
Right. It's a transaction. Okay. And I just want to leave everybody with this because I busted out laughing when I saw this, and it's never too late in the day or early in the morning to browbeat Jesse Waters.
Look at this as common sense. Trump is a great parent. Look at his kids. No drinking, no smoking, no tattoos. They're all good looking and successful with their own nice families.
Okay, here's the deal on that. Trump is just a great dad. I mean, I have never heard a bigger line of bullshit. I mean, this man spews bullshit all day, but this was at the coup de grace of the top. And I also thought it was interesting. Well, they're all attractive. They don't drink or smoke or have tattoos. I mean, that's the bar.
Well, it's been argued that Don Jr. is a cokehead. I mean, I don't know if he is or not, but I've certainly seen a lot of manic coke-fueled videos that he's put out in the past. Definitely doesn't seem sober. I've also seen him with a drink in his hand all the time. Furthermore, is it good parenting to go fuck a porn star while your wife's at home with your infant?
Right.
I mean, this is it's just propaganda. But I mean, again, there's something deeper here that people who claim to be really good people, we're good people. We're Bible reading folk, sit around and watch this shit all the time. There is a brokenness in the American psyche that we can keep talking about all this stuff and we can keep having elections, but there is a broken part of the electorate that feasts on this kind of bullshit all the time because they're dumb and immoral. I mean, they are. So we need to make people smarter and more moral and value that.
You're absolutely right. We do.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all we have for you right now. Stick with us. Please subscribe to our channel.